Man, do I have a good one for you guys today. AMC may be joining the Russell 1000. What does that mean for investors? And I think this can be very, very bullish. And I think that's the overall consensus of this article. And I think there's some really good information in here that you guys need to know. Now, on top of that, I do want to talk about the executive order because I have gotten a lot of comments, essentially people asking, is that still in play? Is that still something that we can look forward to? And I think it's very logical that we address that situation. So two things we're going to talk about here in this video. We kept the intro nice, short, sweet, straight to the point. Now hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for me. Thank you guys for doing that, and get yourself those free stocks, and let's dive into it. I don't want to waste any of your time. I don't want to make this video a half an hour as well. So it says AMC Entertainment may join a select group of America's largest publicly listed companies. It's expected to become a Russell 1000 index holding on June 24th after the index's annual rebalancing. Is this a good thing? Well, what is the Russell 1000? The Russell 1000 index is a stock market index that tracks the performance of the 1,000 highest ranking stocks. Every year in May or June, the FTSE Russell, a subsidiary of the London Stock Exchange Group, updates its holdings. Stocks are either added or subtracted from its indexes based on several criteria: market cap, share price, trading volume, and other factors. As you can imagine, when a company is added to the Russell 1000, it tends to increase the demand for its shares. In turn, that can lead to increased volatility in the short term. Why AMC may join the Russell 1000. The main criteria for whether a company gets added to the index or not is its market cap. Companies can be promoted from the Russell 2000 to the Russell 1000 once their market cap rises above $7.3 billion. On May 6th, the cutoff date, AMC's market cap was just above $7.5 billion. Along with some other criteria, this made the company eligible to join the Russell 1000. Now it says, is this a good thing for AMC? In theory, when a company is promoted or added to an index, it benefits from being lumped in with other more robust companies. By joining the Russell 1000, AMC will be part of an index where 92% of the entire stock market capitalization of all U.S. listed stocks is concentrated. As a result, investor demand may rise, as well as trading volume, making the stock more liquid and desirable. However, some studies point out that companies newly added to the Russell 1000 index do not get that much of a benefit. This is because these companies entered the index as the smallest holdings by market cap. In the Russell 2000, these companies were among the largest and most dominant. Usually, they are among the top 10 holdings by market cap for much of the year. It's kind of like graduating from middle or junior school to high school. New Russell 1000 stocks have a lot to prove. But, in that regard, I do think it would be an overall bullish thing, because you got to imagine the difference between money that goes into the Russell 1000 and the Russell 2000 is ginormous, right? I can firmly sit here and say to you guys that a lot more money flows into the Russell 1000 than the Russell 2000, just because of the risk profile, differences there in the Russell 1000 and the Russell 2000, right? So I think that's overall going to add net buying power to AMC stock, and I think it will be a bullish thing. And I think once we get closer to June 24th and this becomes a thing that is known, potentially could be a very, very bullish catalyst. Now, that's basically that. That's all my take on it. That's what you guys need to know. It's not a guaranteed thing, so I did want to bring it to your guys' attention, but not focus on it too much. Now, at the same time, I do want to talk about the executive order, because yes, that did go into effect on Friday, and I was 100% wrong. I did expect to see a bigger move this week, but the overall market conditions are just very, very bad right now, unless you have a big catalyst, right? Unless you have Redbox with a short interest that is insane, unless you have, AMC acquiring a stake in a company or doing XYZ, it's pretty hard to get that random bullish activity right now in not only AMC, but in other stocks as well, specifically when the markets have been doing some very, very weird things, right? One day of this week, I believe that was Tuesday, the markets were very bullish, but the risk on stocks like your, DraftKings, Affirm, SoFi, AMC, stocks like that were actually majority red on the day. So you've had a lot of this weird back and forth, attitude towards risk on stocks, and it's very hard right now to have something that is fundamentally a positive thing, fundamentally should cause some degree of margin calls, not come to fruition because there's just so many shorts piling into the stock that it counteracts any of that positivity that we might have seen from the executive order. Look at this short interest on free float. It's up like 4% for this week alone, right? At least 2 to 3%. I don't remember the exact day, or the exact day the short interest was a certain percentage. I believe it started the week around 20.5%, 21%. You guys might have to fact check me on that. But you've seen a lot of shorting. You've seen about 5 million more borrowed shares for the day. Free flow out on loan is sitting at 36%. So, that's not good. At the same time, this short interest, these shorted shares from the market makers, from the hedge funds buying all these options, don't even get essentially counted in the short interest. So there's a lot of shorting activity. You guys can see it has not been very pretty as far as the option activity. Some orders are very, very large as well, for millions of dollars. So it's kind of counteracting that. But I do think when you get a bullish catalyst, something the markets can actually run with, specific to AMC stock, I think the stock will rally in a substantial way, and I think the executive order will ultimately be a big benefit. Now, we didn't get that initial reaction like we expected, but I do think that we will get it at some point into the future. And if you did not see the last video, the max pain for next week is actually $18 per share. The max pain for this Friday is $13 per share, pretty much where we are trading at right now. And you're still seeing a lot of bullish 13F filings that are still coming out from Vanguard, from other hedge funds as well. Very bullish across the board, continuing to add to their AMC positions. Overall, a net positive gain. Not a huge gain, but nonetheless still a gain worth millions and millions of dollars. And when you have the data that looks like this, I mean, come on guys, like this looks beautiful. Even the cost of bar rate's at 48.18%. Cost of bar average at 30%. These numbers don't just double every couple of days for no reason. And I think that's the ultimate MO of market makers and hedge funds, is to really get as many people out of the trade as possible. Because if you honestly think about it, there's always going to be a loser in one side of the trade. Nobody's always going to win. So if they can make you lose, they're gonna win more. So that's essentially the MO, and they know, they just know how it goes. They can ultimately dictate what happens, but what they can't control, the single thing they can't control, is you simply buying and holding. They cannot take that away from you no matter what happens. So I will continue to buy. I will continue to buy options here and there, and I do think we will see a bullish reaction in the month of June based off the executive order, and that's really what I tried to highlight as well, just going through that article. And I actually have the article pulled up right here. He goes on to say that just the whole month of June should be very bullish, and I'm in that camp as well. And I will admit that I was certainly wrong on what I expected for this week. Then again, we have CPI on Friday. That's very weird. Usually we don't have CPI on Friday, so kind of this whole week has had that negative sentiment around it. That's why you've seen a lot of stocks, pretty much any stock that you invest in, I'm sure if it's a high growth stock, has seen its short interest go up this week. As well as that, lots of put activity just across the board. So I think it's no surprise that this has happened. I think a lot of people actually called it out. But I do think once these factors come together, you get a bullish catalyst, volume comes back into the stock, those things play out, then I think it's going to be very good. Because what have we noticed in here, right? We have really stayed in a very tight range a majority of the time, in between $11.50 and $13 per share for the past couple of weeks now, and you've had very low volume. So that's a good thing that we're not continuing to fall, as volume has really started to drop off even more. Last time we seen volume drop off like this, we were trading in the 20 to 30 million shares per day range, and the stock just pretty much continued to fall. It was pretty much straight down. Well, now you're pretty much in that range as well, a little bit higher on some certain days, but the stock is pretty flat. So I do think that's an overall good thing. Volume comes back into the stock, and that should move the price of the stock up, and I think it could be pretty damn explosive at the same time. So those are really my thoughts. You know, short interest is even much higher, much higher than the Ortex data. If you take into consideration the option activity, yeah, you're in a totally different ballpark. Now, Janet Yellen did come out and say some things. They might move the market, so I do want to, you know, put it here in this video. It says, that's not Janet. It says, Yellen says I wouldn't do it differently on economic policy. Yellen has said, amazing how pessimistic households are given job gains. And I mean, when the gas is $5 per gallon, Yellen, come on now. What? That don't even make sense. You're still losing a lot of money. It says Yellen has said there's nothing to suggest a recession is in the works. That could be a bullish thing. We'll see. There's a pretty big disconnect in the markets compared to, you know, what the markets expect, what the data is telling us, what the quote-unquote experts expect. There's a lot of mixed expectations out there, so it's very hard, you know, to value these stocks any certain way. One day it's like they're worth more. One day it's like they're worth substantially less, right? The markets just don't know. But it says, look at this one. Yellen says she wouldn't recommend crypto for most retirement savers. Of course not, because what? The hedge funds are going to continue to buy it. That's just how it goes. So that's pretty much it. That's really what you guys need to know out of this video. A couple extra things we talked about, but really the Russell, you know, 1000 situation as well as the executive order. Those are two things that I really wanted to cover here in this video because I've gotten a lot of questions on the executive order, and I don't think a lot of people know about the Russell 1000 situation, and I think that could be very bullish as well. That could be a catalyst that could add some bullish momentum to AMC stock, and that will be decided on June 24th. So a lot of good things going for us. One of those things, just be patient with it. Everything will work out in due time. The day you plant the seed is not the day you reap the harvest. Now, we will also be live in between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, we will be going live a little bit earlier. I've been doing a lot of stuff with real estate, rental properties, all of that. So bear with me. Might actually make a video on it if that's something you guys are interested in. Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns. You guys want some real estate videos because there is one real estate hack that anyone can do to become very wealthy in a relatively short amount of time with a little bit of money. So real estate does not have to, you know, take away your whole stock portfolio. Just a little bit of money will do, and you can make a lot of money. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if I said get your free stocks down below in the description. Make sure to check that out. Webull, Moomoo, and Public. And if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the pinned comment. That is a great place to be. We've been hitting some very nice downward momentum trades here. So if you don't want to sit on your hands and watch your portfolio die, that's a great platform to be a part of. So that is it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.